Your latest news update from Western Mass News.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Glenn Kittle, and this is your latest news update from Western Mass News. Yesterday afternoon, Westfield police officers responded to reports of shots fired near Orange and Sackett Street. Police say no one was injured, but one bullet did hit a house. The incident remains under investigation, and anyone with information is being asked to contact the Westfield Police Department. And this week, Ludlow police received a report of a man who punched a car's driver's side window. Police say officers located 58-year-old Randall Lepore, who has actively resisted the officers. They then used a stun gun to subdue and arrest him. A Ludlow officer sustained a non-life-threatening laceration. He was treated at a local hospital and eventually released. Lepore was charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and assault and battery on a police officer. And in Great Barrington, a search warrant was executed Wednesday morning at a residence belonging to Andrew Naventi. That search led to Naventi's arrest, who has been charged with the possession and distribution of child pornography. His bail was set at $5,000 and was posted later in the day. He will be arraigned in court tomorrow.
Good Sunday morning, everyone. I'm First Alert meteorologist Leah Murphy. A bit of a damp start this morning once again as we are looking at mist and drizzle across the area. We are going to be hanging on to those conditions as we head through the rest of the morning hours. And then we do have a round of showers coming through as we head into the afternoon. We could see some embedded downpours as well as a rumble of thunder possible. And we are going to continue to see that pretty much for the rest of the day and also heading into the overnight. Temperatures today are only going to be getting up into the middle and upper 50s. And we are going to be continuously dealing with some periods of steady to heavy rain as we push through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. Temperatures are not going to fall all that much as we head into the overnight, but then once the system moves out of our area and the skies begin to clear up early tomorrow morning, we'll see those temperatures dropping a few degrees, getting down into the lower 50s. Now, as we head through the rest of the week, we are going to be looking at a bit of an unsettled pattern as we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday running a little bit cooler as well, with temperatures only in the middle and upper 50s, and then we are going to run the chance for a few afternoon showers. Right now, it looks like that pattern does look to finally break as we head into the weekend and the following week, as well as temperatures getting a little bit more on the moderating trend into the middle and upper 60s and into the 70-degree range. That's the check of your forecast. Have a great morning, everyone.
Stay with Western Mass News on air, online, and on our app throughout the day for breaking news, weather, and exclusive content.